This shit wild.
Bro, what are you talking about? Get your money. Yeah.
Bro, what did you want with us? What are you doing all this for?
The damage is devastating and disgusting. Floors wet with backed up sewage, a 150-year-old piano destroyed, broken windows, and the pool littered with debris. This is the aftermath of a wild party promoted on the internet at this house in Monroe.
There was smashed glass everywhere, garbage everywhere. When I drove by the property during the party, I could see there had to have been at least 150 to 200 people in the swimming pool.
Off camera, the owner says he listed the house on booking.com and believed he was renting the mansion on Sapphire Road to a family for the weekend. Instead, it was the target of Project X, a party promoted on social media. The exact address withheld until the day of the event. Within hours, vehicles clogged the street as partygoers arrived.
It had to be hundreds and hundreds of cars, and yeah, just something like this area is really not used to or not honestly equipped for.
Police were called, but the location is in the unincorporated part of Monroe, patrolled by state police, which only enforce state laws, not local ordinances. Still, the town supervisor says she believes the party should have been shut down.
Based on the description of damage, trespassing, what probably was underage drinking, someone found needles that implicated, illicit drug use. I was just shocked that there wasn't probable cause for the state police to respond appropriately.
The party went on until the wee hours of Sunday. By the time the owner arrived from out of town, many neighbors had cleaned up most of the debris on the road.
Well, we all felt horrible for the homeowner. I mean, he put so much effort and energy into building that house into a really beautiful place. I mean, when we saw all the destruction, we just all pitched in and started cleaning up.
The homeowner, town supervisor, and neighbors all expressing relief that no one was hurt in an event that could have ended badly.
Today we're going to look at Airbnb. We're going to find out why hosts are jacking up prices, why people are leaving Airbnb altogether, and does this hurt or help consumers, because will hotel prices go up if they don't have competition?
I will never understand why people book Airbnbs instead of a hotel. So you're telling me not only am I going to have cameras watching me, but then I have to clean up the whole house and I got to roll out the trash bins at the end of the stay?
My Airbnb host is harassing me to delete my review, but I didn't even leave a bad review, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm not even the kind of person that would normally leave reviews, but I checked out of this Airbnb yesterday, and since then I've already gotten like 5 messages from this host being like, please review me, please review me. So I did, and shocker, be careful what you wish for. I was honest. Oh my God, I gave a 4-star review overall because it was a nice stay, but not worth 5 stars.
We're starting off a little light here. Yes, you need to clean up. You need to have that property the way it was when you entered. About the cameras, though, have you guys ever found a camera in the Airbnb? And the fact that you have to leave a 5-star, you don't have to. You leave the way it was reviewed by you.
Off to Spain, where you might have to book a hotel instead of an Airbnb. The Spanish government has ordered a crackdown on the rental site to remove more than 65,000 property listings. It's down to officials not knowing whether they're owned by an individual or a company, and some failing to provide the right details. While it's not good for holidaymakers, it's welcome news for locals. There's been massive anti-tourism protests in the country over rising rents and a lack of affordable housing. Politicians say they're done protecting those who make a business out of the right to housing and have immediately removed nearly 6,000 Airbnbs. A decision Airbnb says it will appeal, as the company doesn't believe those in charge have the authority to make rulings over short-term rentals. And it's not just Spain who aren't happy with the company. New York, Berlin, Amsterdam and even London have restrictions on some short-term rentals. And last year, Barcelona announced plans for a total ban on them by 2028.
Now, there's a big debate on when you buy a house, should you be able to do whatever you want with it, such as rent it out? Now, it will typically bring down property values when you have all these big parties and cars all out on the streets. So you guys tell me in the comments what you choose.
I rented my house out on Airbnb, and this is what happened. Right after January, I got a same-day booking request. I was super excited because I actually needed the money, but this is what happened. You can see they started damaging a lot of stuff, took some of my cushions, threw my router down, my home security, and my Amazon Alexa, broke my TV screen, punched holes in the walls, broke my shelf, broke my table, bought a new one, and chairs. As you can see, there's still tags on them. Ruined all the carpet, stole my comforter.
These are the worst type of guests that nobody wants. I just assumed that they had the same protection as hotels.
Get an Airbnb, they said. You will make money, they said. No, you actually won't. You know why? Because you're going to have people that end up staying there. Tell me why I had this guest that stayed and then literally lied to Airbnb, said that they didn't stay. So they got to stay for free. They got everything reimbursed. Not only that, they stole a bunch of like they literally stole a bunch of shit. And then they gave a bunch of 1-star reviews, and because of that, my Airbnb was blocked for the whole month of July. And like, not because of that, I can't even pay the rent for it because it was blocked. And then when I called Airbnb back and forth multiple times, they never solved my problem. They said they'd call back in 15 minutes, and then they wouldn't. So, yeah, if you're gonna make one, just be wary of that.
When you're buying a property for investment like this, it can turn into a nightmare scenario real quick with the destruction of property for the lack of non-payment. Be careful, guys.
Get an investment property and rent it out. They said, well, you know what? The house has been completely destroyed. Holes through every wall. There's a couple of bedrooms that are good, but as you can see, the door's been ripped off this bedroom and it's in half. Just a few more pictures of the kitchen and yeah, holes in the wall. So there's the door again.
Again, these are the worst type of human beings that exist. These are probably the examples of why people want to sell and why you should not buy an Airbnb. It's up to you.
One of my Airbnbs just got foreclosed on today, and all my other ones are losing money. The market is over. And now I'm going to need to sell a couple of the houses that I'm up in on equity to cover the loss of the foreclosure, the massive ding to my credit, and all my other properties that are losing money on a monthly basis. The last 3-6 months have really seen a huge downturn, almost straight downturn. And it's honestly just not the market that it used to be. It's just the way it is. I'm going to take that money, go into stocks, go into some sort of long-term investment. That is just a much safer play.
Please stop listening to these fake real estate gurus who tell you to buy multiple properties as an investment. For my long-term subscribers, yes, I'm working on a video now. As a corporate banker of 22 years, I'm not going to sell courses. I'm going to give you everything for free. Thank you for staying with me, and thank you for being patient.
I had a famous YouTube and TikToker use my Airbnb to try to sell more of their course. So essentially what had happened is this person was staying for about 3 weeks. Now, I eventually got this content sent to me by a friend saying, hey, isn't that your property? Now, the house is pretty unique. I can tell it's my house, right? And I eventually matched the name on the reservation to this so-called YouTuber as well. Now, pretty much what this gentleman was doing was he was saying, hey, if you buy my marketing or drop shipping, something like that, some digital course, then you can own a property like this. And in other videos, he's saying, this is my property that I paid for by selling XYZ on XYZ. Now, at the end of the day, he was a very good guest. I think it was just him and his cameraman or camera crew, whatever it may entail. He had approximately, I think, 1 million followers throughout all of his platforms. So pretty big name, probably made some good money off of it. But I think I made $17,000 or $18,000 from the 3-week reservation. So I didn't say anything to him. I don't care. He was a very good guest, and that's life, right? But I would say for those buying the course, I don't really know how legit it is. Sorry.
Did I just not talk about these fake gurus, these influencers, whatever they call them, who've never worked a career in finance or when it comes to investment? Anyway, guys, I get really upset when it comes to things like this. If you look at my banner up top, that's me sleep at my desk. I got the permission from my CEO. I am going to never stop telling you to be careful what information you're getting and who you're getting it from. Before you come at me in the comments, I was on my lunch break. Be good, be kind.
All right, so I'm staying at an Airbnb in Palm Springs right now, and I'm starting to really understand why people are getting frustrated with Airbnb. As an example, we booked a house with this beautiful pool here, and the day before we checked in, we got a message from the owner saying that it's $109 extra per night just to heat the pool. Now, we also got a notice the day before we checked in saying that if we check in late, we're going to be charged up to $100 in a service fee for their assistant. Now, on top of the reservation, we are also paying a $320 cleaning fee for this Airbnb, but upon checkout, I'm getting a message saying I need to empty every single garbage bin in this house, put it all together, and take it out. So now I just feel like I'm getting nickel and dimed, and it feels like a hotel is becoming a more and more appealing option for the convenience, the service, and just the consistency of knowing what you're going to get.
This is why I agree with this gentleman right here. Their contractual obligation, I believe, should be when you sign up, when you book, or when you pay, not when you're already on the premises. This is why I believe Airbnb is failing.
So I saw an article recently about how Airbnb is kind of falling out of favor, and it really got me thinking, when did Airbnb get so bad? And apparently the CEO of Airbnb was thinking the same thing, because in May, he went all undercover boss mode to try and figure it out. For 6 months, this man stayed in 12 different Airbnbs, and every one of them was different. Some asked him to sign rental agreements. Some asked him to pay wicked high cleaning fees. And he was even graced with a giant binder of chores to complete before leaving. You know what I'm talking about? So the CEO says he's going to use this information to make changes, but I don't know. In the last couple of years, a lot of people are starting to say, you know what, I think I'd like to stay in a place where I know how to get more towels if I need them. Not to mention, hotels compete with each other to offer deals and lower prices. And they have rewards programs where you can redeem points for free stays. They also don't have to worry about cities passing legislation to ban short-term rentals altogether.
If the CEO stayed in some of these Airbnbs and nothing changed, what does that say about the company? Now, if you stayed in there recently, tell me, please, and be honest, what have you seen change?
I feel like this has to be a sign that the era of Airbnb is over. You see this little patch of Old Town, and that is 74 current Airbnbs that are being used as Airbnbs that are also listed for sale. A lot of these are listed at a loss and have been sitting on the market for a minute. Okay, this one for sale right now. Sold in May 22 for $840,000. Listed now for $700,000. And this one's listed for $900,000. Sold in 2020 for $680,000, 2021 for $950,000, 2022 for $955,000. Listed January for $1.1, now down to $899,000. I think it's a sign that the market is continuing to weaken at a pretty quick pace, and I think it's just the start.
That's something to think of. Now, if these Airbnbs start to fail in big numbers, does that mean housing prices will now become affordable soon?
My most controversial opinion is that I will always choose a hotel over an Airbnb. With Airbnbs, you have to clean and shift the bed and take out the trash when you leave, but hotels, it's amazing. You don't have to do any of that. You just leave. And someone will come by and make your bed every day if you want to, which is also very nice. And even if I'm in a large group, I would still prefer a hotel because at the end of the night, everyone gets to go back to their own hotel rooms. And I get to decompress because y'all know I have a short social battery. So having my own room and not having to sleep on a couch in some random house is amazing.
It doesn't mean I'm right, but my belief is if I stayed in the Airbnb, then if I gave a cleaning deposit, then yeah, I'm not going to clean it. If I didn't leave a cleaning deposit, I'm going to leave it as I entered it. That's just me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Messages for people who own Airbnbs and rent them out. What the f*** are you guys doing? You shouldn't be assigning people that stay in your home a bunch of chores and charge them a cleaning fee. Are you out of your mind? No wonder people don't want to use Airbnb anymore. You honestly mean to tell me that if I'm staying at your house, I have to take out the trash, do the laundry, strip the bed, the towels to the bathtub? What do you mean I have to do all this and pay you a cleaning fee? And there's even some people that are like, to make it easier for the housekeeper, you're running a business. Me as the consumer or the guest shouldn't have to make things easier and more convenient for you. You trust and believe. I'm not doing chores.
And this is not to deter anyone from staying in an Airbnb, but this is as close as you can get to rolling the dice on whatever Airbnb you do decide on.
All right, let's head inside. We're supposed to throw away their trash.
It stinks.
So one of our guests left a whole bunch of food in our fridge, so we're going to talk about it while we deep clean it together.
Just goes to show that there was a lack of respect for the house rules.
Oh my God, you guys.
guys, the guest who paid $350 to use our home used our home, and I'm literally shaking. And they charge a $50 cleaning fee, which I guess covers the cost of a 2-minute wipe down.
Your trash and stuff that you have.
Mind you, they can't even be bothered to fix the Wi-Fi for their guests.
We got a message at 4 a.m. saying that the Wi-Fi wasn't working. We messaged him back and asked what he would like us to do about it.
You will never catch me staying at an Airbnb if there is a hotel within a 50-mile radius.
Somebody posted the house rules for that Cassie and John Airbnb, and here's the crazy fees that they charge. First, for unregistered guests, it's $200 per night per guest. Granted, people shouldn't be staying there if they don't have permission, but $200 a night seems excessive. Also, they misspell registered. Security cameras are in place. We will monitor the number of guests entering the home. All right, that's a little creepy. No smoking or vaping within 20 feet of the patio. Okay, fire hazard, I get it. Smoking within 20 feet of the property will be a minimum $800 cleaning fee. $800 for what? Their late checkout fee, though, is probably the most ludicrous. So the base fee for late checkout is $200, and then it's an additional $50 every 10 minutes. So checkout is at 10. If you check out at 10:30, it's a $350 late fee. So checking out 1 hour late at 11 is $500. No exceptions. And then for that piano that is unnecessary to be there in the first place. Children under the age of 13 are not permitted to use the piano, nor is any adult who does not know how to properly play the piano. Like, why even put it in there?
See, this is what I get for trying to see the perspective of the host and agree on some things, but this is just ludicrous.
This just brings me to my point of Airbnb, dude. Yeah. I am done with Airbnbs. They give you no service. They're not even cheaper. They're actually more expensive now. They barely give you enough toilet paper to survive 2 nights. The towels smell like shit. You can't get in early. You can't leave your bags. You can't check out late. Like, what is the purpose right now of even getting an Airbnb? We could have stayed in the Hilton right on Rainy Street in Austin, Texas, each gotten our own room, and it would have been the same price. So honestly, Airbnbs in Austin and Airbnbs overall. I am only staying in hotels from now on, and I don't even care. I'm going to try VRBO or something because Airbnb is the worst business out there. Their quality from 10 years ago to now has gone down further than Chipotle 10 years ago to now. And that is saying a lot.
Wow. Could he not be more spot on? Because as of August of 2026, Chipotle again is in the news about them and their association with salmonella. I'm just saying, not saying you have salmonella, it's in the news.
All right, so this one's for the people who have Airbnbs or own hotels that are near any of the stadiums that FIFA is playing any of the matches. So I have an Airbnb that's only 5 minutes away from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. The house is huge. Everything is customized in there. I know because I designed it and built it myself. So generally, my place is always booked. Since FIFA was coming, we went ahead and increased the prices a little bit. It's 1 month away from the matches being played, and my place isn't booked at all for any of the FIFA games, which is insane. I also did research before I even increased the prices. And the FIFA customer that travels to another country to go watch their country play, they don't care how much things are. They usually just pay the money. It's so bad out here. I don't know. You have to tell me if y'all book or not, because I'm not booked. And if I'm a traveler and I'm coming from, another country, by this time, I should know where I'm staying, because that's pretty reckless, right? For the majority of people, they're not doing that. So please let me know in the comments. Are y'all booked yet, or what's going on?
Sir, let me understand this. You raise your prices to take advantage of people for this event. Now you're shocked nobody wants to rent from you. Guys, is this lack of cerebral aptitude, or is this just sheer ignorance?
I don't understand why the Airbnb hosts are confused. We told y'all, as soon as Airbnbs start to become more expensive and demanding than hotels, we're taking our behinds back to hotels. Why? Because if we're paying you thousands of dollars, we should not have to do our own housekeeping. It's no reason that I'm paying you that much and you're asking me to mop the floor, put the clothes in the washing machine, wash the dishes, take the trash out, make the bed. That is your job. That's literally why I pay you a cleaning fee on Airbnb.
This is your reminder to not wait until the last week of Coachella to get an Airbnb. What do we got here? We got a trailer, 4 nights. What do we think? Couple hundo, $12K. $12K to stay at the Imagine. Now, Imagine paying that much for a trailer! Is Hank Hill gonna be filling up my propane? Holy. Hey, everybody relax. We got a pool. We can take a dip for $219K. That's a Lamborghini! That's more than Bieber's getting paid! Bargain alert, 4 nights, campsite, $360, tent not included. You mean grass? You mean I could be homeless for $360? I could lose money to be homeless?
You know why people don't stay in Airbnbs anymore? Today I was staying in an Airbnb where we were checking out, and the checkout was at 11. It was like a firm 11 o'clock. Sounds good. I checked out the checkout instructions, like what do we need to do before we leave? It says turn off the AC, make sure the door's locked, and don't take off the sheets because there's special sheets that are hard to put on enough. Okay. We're waiting out the rain because the rain's gonna stop at 11 o'clock. So we're like, okay, we'll just stay here till 11. We pack up all of our stuff at 10:30 and we're kind of just hanging out in the Airbnb. At 10:58, we see that the cleaning lady's coming in. So we're like, okay, we're about to leave. As she's walking in, she's like, you need to leave at 11. We're like, yeah, we're walking out right now. She walks in and she goes, are you kidding me? We're like, what? And she's like, this isn't a hotel. You should have cleaned all this up. This is a huge mess. Mind you, there are towels and blankets on the floor and maybe like a banana on the counter. And she's like, oh, you're going to hear about this. You're going to get charged for this huge mess you made. Like Hilton would never.
How disgusting this is and disrespectful to do this to someone else's property.
At what point does leaving your Airbnb in this condition become vandalism? This woman rented out her Airbnb to this family, and this is how they left it. Beer bottles everywhere, beer caps everywhere. They broke the glass top for her dining room table.
They did not pick up a lick of trash.
She even broke the legs of the bed. Not to mention, she had another renter for the Airbnb that day when she went there to clean it.
They actually came here to ruin our house. Are you joking?
He didn't even rent it out for 2 nights. They were there for a day and a half. Hopefully they filed a police report and are going to press charges.
I'm not a big proponent of calling people bad names, guys. My channel deals with entertainment, business, and finance. If this channel suits you, go ahead and subscribe. Until the next video, I appreciate you. Thank you for watching.
Don't wait to live your life.